Hey there, grab your coffee and let's talk business. How to grow it, how to sustain it, and how to harness the wonderful World Wide Web to do it. With me, your host, Jennifer Sikowski. Let's get started. Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of Rainy Day Talks podcast. I'm Jennifer Sikowski, and today I have a special guest, which is going to be weird today because Miss Melissa has joined me. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Jen.
Melissa has been with my team now for almost a year, and she runs our content strategy, copywriting, anything that has to do with words. She is our it girl. So, and I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be doing this with you. This is going to be fun.
Yes. Melissa, she does work for us in Rainy Day Design and is an integral part of our team here, but also she has her own business called Up-Level Your Content. And Melissa, before we get into like the fun part.
Okay.
Not that this isn't fun. That was bad. But,
wait a minute.
We probably should restart, but we're rolling with it, like you said.
Let's just go.
But tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Okay. Well, I write the things for people and I help them figure out what things to write and what to focus on. I used to be a classroom teacher, a corporate trainer. I've done a lot of marketing writing in my, JOBs that I had in the past. And I kind of put that all together and I help people write content, usually of a how-to nature. So from like a teaching perspective to help when your audience is consuming. And that would include like video, I can help you script things and structure things to help people get that transformation, like whatever it is that you're promising to your customers. Every time somebody makes a purchase, no matter what it is, they're expecting some sort of change in their result. And so I help them get that change in their result. And then they become your raving fans and you have testimonials and referrals and everything's beautiful. And it's this whole, I think of it as like an upward spiral of goodness. If you help someone else, they help someone, it makes their lives better and so on and so forth. And I'm just feeling really blessed.
Your clients.
I'm feeling really blessed to work in this space right now because I think this is very much what people need now and are going to need going forward.
Absolutely. And you just recently rebranded and launched your website, uplevelyourcontent.com. So
with your help, it's amazing. And our fabulous Chelsea.
We have a legit amazing team here at RDD.
It's a bomb.
It's the bomb.com.
Yeah.
And so you not only are doing amazing things here at Rainy Day Design, you're doing your own amazing things. So definitely check the link in our show notes, follow along to Up-Level Your Content, find you on Facebook, Instagram.
Those are the places.
Website. Those are primary places. You've got some really awesome new, can I say course? Can I just go ahead and say that?
Yeah,
that's coming.
It's coming. I'm doing it as an accelerated version to get it out to people fast so they can do things fast right now. So that's coming probably by next week.
Yeah, super excited about that. And so the reason why we were brainstorming about, okay, what are some fun things that we could do for the podcast? How can we create some new content for RDD? And just like in general, what can we do differently? Melissa had a great idea and she was like, hey, why don't we flip it and I'll come on and interview you? And at first I was like, I don't think that's how it works. But she let me know that that's not the case.
I was just like, I'm taking over.
So today I am literally passing the reins over. We really didn't do much prep work, which y'all know Rainy Day Talks. This podcast is all about just, do you have your coffee? I think I saw a Dunkin' mug.
Of course.
And we're just talking shop. So Melissa, feel free, take it away.
Okay. So what my original idea, because I think that it's amazing what you do. So my kids are older. They go to school all day long, right? So I have at least 6 hours of like alone time in the house every day of the week that there's not, snow delay and day off for some reason. And I often struggle to do all the things, right? You have two littles at home, and each day of your week is a little bit different than the rest because of where they go and who they visit and everything. So I thought it'd be great to I just think it's incredible that you run this business, you have this global team that you manage, and you have these two little people who are darlings at home with you for much of the time. And I thought you could share with people how you do this, especially, I think this is actually more timely, even though everything is a little flipped on its ear right now. Because, I think more and more moms are going to be, having a side hustle or turning their existing side hustle into their full-time thing. And they might be saying I want to do this, but I don't know how. And I think this would help people. So I thought maybe you could go through quickly what, a month ago, what your schedule looked like a week at a glance, maybe. And then we could talk about how quickly we've had to adjust to, everything being different. Now you're still at home, you're at home more, but now there's more people in the house all the time. So, what's working, what's challenging, and help each other, get through this weird time.
Whew, that's a loaded question.
Let's do one thing at a time.
Okay.
Tell us how you managed your whole Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, weekend here and there.
Yes. Okay. So before I honestly, I had to start with almost the end in mind. So we knew going into this year and with school I have an almost 5-year-old and an almost 3-year-old. And I'm saying that because Lord have mercy, let's get out of the 2s and even 4s. But I'm not
gonna say anything about the 3s. I'll just let you figure that out on your own.
Well, I mean, Luke. Okay, yeah. My daughter. She's a very gifted little beast. But so how I had to break this down. So we started with one. I knew at least if we could manage, I needed 2 days. 2 days of just kid-free focus time. And honestly, I have an awesome tribe here. So between my in-laws helping with my oldest on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they take him. Then on the same days, we found a local daycare that is amazing to take Ev. And so that freed me up. So I cram as much as I can FaceTime with clients. So if I had any of our local clients or even out-of-state clients, I would load that time up with Zoom meetings, in-person calls or in-person meetings, team meetings, just anything that I needed to truly focus on. Because I don't know, maybe other people are much better at this, but I cannot truly focus when I have those little humans. Because, I'm still thinking about, what do they need? Where are they at? What are they into? Are they beating on each other? Are they hungry? So those 2 days are gifts. But
I want to segue. I want to mention, I'm going to come back to this. Maybe we can put a link in the show notes later. There's literally some research that moms can't shut that off. If you can hear your kids, they're in your consciousness. So you're automatically multitasking if you can hear your own children. So you absolutely cannot.
It's a legit
focus.
Thing.
Yes, there's legit science behind it.
That's legit. Well, that's good to know because sometimes you just feel like you're crazy. And then on the other days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my oldest, he was going into preschool, right? So we had half days on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've gotten really good at scheduling out the week. Now, know that it does not go perfect and it rarely goes how I want it to go for the day. But for me, having that set plan, so I knew I would first of all, back up. I get up before my children. That is the number one thing I want to tell anybody. If you have kids at home or even don't have kids at home and have a spouse or somebody else there, get your butt up out of bed and be the first up, because that allows you to set the tone for yourself before anyone else comes down the stairs. And for me, that's move my body. I have some Jesus time. I have some coffee, and I start making out my list. I do 5 gratitudes for every day, and I write out my goals as they've already happened.
I have a similar routine, and to tell you the truth, I am naturally much more of a night owl than a morning person. And when my kids were little and I needed exercise time, I realized that the only time I had to do it was at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I started getting up. And now I'm still sort of naturally can stay up more easily than I can get up. But now if I sleep in, everything's thrown off. So if you think you're not, like you can't, you're like, oh, I already get up so early, you can train yourself in a short period of time and actually begin to look forward to it, to be a morning person.
There's a great book called Morning Miracle. And there's
Miracle Morning, Hal Elrod?
Yeah. And there's one for families. There's another version. That is awesome. So if anyone's needing a book, like check that book out, because that breaks down how to manage that, how to set that up. But so I think just getting a schedule, starting before the kids got up, and then being very transparent with everybody. I have worked real hard with my clients to say, listen, I have little humans at home. I do this business because I want to be a part of their lives and be home with them. But I want to help you succeed. And so all of my clients, I'm very forthcoming on that information of, if you want to get with me, this is how the schedule has to be. And also, it's not just me. I have an amazing team that's ready to support you as well. And so I think being transparent with people who you work with, I asked for help. I have an amazing supportive husband that and we can talk like how it works now, but we work really hard to communicate, to set boundaries for not only on the home front, but both of our jobs and like the passions and stuff, the side hustles that we do. And so like that also helps. So I think all of it combined, I've just started with a schedule, being disciplined on getting up, handling what I need to do. And then at the end of the day, if something's not done, I either stay awake and get it done until it's done and I can go to bed, or I get really creative on how I can plug in times to work, whether it's I'm in the car waiting on my son to come out of preschool and I have Evelyn in the back seat, I'm making calls or I'm jumping on a call with my team, or it's nap time, or it's, while they're quiet and eating, I might run upstairs and do a client call if somebody's needing me. So I think like that's how I get really intense during that, because to be able to do this for so long, I think that you have to have a level of, this is what I'm going to rock out. This is what I want to do. This is my goal. And I have people that count on me. Like our team here that is global, that is no accident. I've worked hard. I've vetted people. I've interviewed. I've had hard conversations. We do things that are out of the box to cultivate a awesome culture here. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I got way over there, but I think
that was really good, because you have like big corporation HR skills as far as onboarding team members and deliberately creating the culture that you want to have, and not just letting it happen by default, and being transparent about all of that. We have discussions around it, so it's not just sort of dictated by you, but you set the direction, and like we're on board with it because you've brought us into it. Getting back to your thing about
y'all drink the Kool-Aid. That's what it is.
No. That makes it sound nefarious. It's not that at all. Getting back to the little snippets of time, one of my little hacks is that it's hard for me to tune out notifications, but I've gotten better about which ones I attend to when I have my desk time when the kids are at school.
Yep.
And I will check to see if anything's urgent on Voxer. But I know that I can do that in the car. So I'll be like, okay, I'm going to use my desk time at my computer now. And when I get in the car to go pick up the kids after school, that's when I reply to all my messages. So I do a lot of driving and Voxering with my clients and my friends and my other, online business friends that stay connected and share tips and cheerleading and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And that you mentioned a good point about Voxer. So you have always said, hey, if you need me, Voxer is the channel. And I think that's important if you do have a team, or if you're working with others, or even for your clients, like this is your in. If you need to get a hold of me or something goes down, or if, even though I have 25 other things going on, but if this is your access, or this is how you get stuff done. And I think that like for you, it's get me on Voxer. I know I'm going to be checking Voxer. over
I know
Slack.
that's the one I'll notice
Mm-hmm.
first. If you've
Yep.
pinged me anywhere, I will catch that before, more than likely before like a Slack notification,
Yep.
definitely before an email.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it all comes down to communication. And I
Yeah.
know, like with our team, when y'all joined in, I'm like, listen, this isn't going to be pretty. It's going to be a little messy, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to help a lot of people, but just know that there are going to be calls where like a little human runs in, or if you catch me on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we got to work something out for a project, there's going to be a little human come in. And I think that like having that transparency that like we all have lives. This is a unique space because we're virtual. So we just got to be open to that.
Yeah. And you attract the people who are willing to work with that, and people who
Absolutely.
don't want that. There's more than enough to go around, and you attract the right people. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but that might be a good segue into like how this everything from pre-pandemic to now has changed. But I think that one of the potential good things that's going to come out of this is that people are going to be a lot more tolerant about,
Mm.
we won't be talking so much about work-life balance, or we'll be talking about it in a different way, because people will be okay with you're working and your kids there, and like not having this like so strict dichotomy between like work and personal, and everybody recognizing that everybody has a life, and sometimes they bump into each other, but you make it work. So I think that people are going to get more and more used to, yeah, my kids have fighting in the background, but they're not hurting each other. So just don't worry about that right now. I think that's going to be a good thing. Like we can just integrate our lives better. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll be one of the positive outcomes.
Yeah. And I think it brings that realness to the table.
Yes.
That like we're not just, well, not in this space, we're not, but you think like, oh, like I have to have this client call and I've got to be like, show up with my blazer on, or show up with my, like get all like prepared and like have everything perfect. Perfect is boring.
Yeah.
And it's not real. We're not
Amen.
Jesus. So like, and I think that kind of brings down some of those walls that people put up to look like, know that we're just talking and we're doing business, and we have one goal in mind here is to help other people. And I think like that, I agree. This whole what's going on, especially on the online world, and more people forced to rip that
Yeah.
Band-Aid off to figure out how to manage this, I think it's going to be good.
And I think we're all going to give each other some grace. Right now, my husband is a teacher and he's setting up his online classroom. And there's a like cut and paste thing on Facebook that's going around about teachers are learning this and give them some grace, and they're working really hard and everything. It's like a learning curve from them. They use technology in their classrooms, but this is a whole different set of technology. And but I mean, I think ultimately it's going to be a good thing. They're going to have more ways to connect people. Like if you're homesick from school, it'll be easier to access the materials online to get caught up more. It's just going to be a good thing overall when the dust finally settles.
Yes, completely agree.
So now you told me, I have to confess, I have been out of the house much more than Miss Jennifer here. Like I've been the person who's run to the store for more milk, and to the pharmacy, and this habit that is Jennifer's fault. We won't even get into that.
For those listening, she just
But
held up a
how
Dunkin'.
many days was it that you literally did not leave your house?
I think I was up to 10.
I think that you
With
told me 10.
The little humans.
Before you finally did a Dunkin' run for coffee and treats for your kiddos. So you've been very, very good about adhering to the stay-at-home rules.
Yeah.
And so what does that look like now? Everybody's there. Kiddos don't go anywhere. You got to avoid if you don't live with people. So your in-laws are kind of off the table. How do you make this work now?
Cool. So catch me on the different day and I'll tell you probably differently.
Right.
Just to be honest, because my husband is still considered an essential person that has to go out and still working, that comes back and forth from Pittsburgh. So he's had the opportunity to switch to nights. So when this all started, we had one schedule, which once again comes back to communication. I have a very supportive significant other who, like, we have those hard conversations. Okay, what do you got going on? What do I got going on? And then we kind of map it out together. And right now, it hasn't been bad. I mean, I know it could be a lot worse just because my husband's still able to work, which that's a blessing. And he goes of a night. And then I will take during the daytime for a few hours. And it's a lot of starting and stopping, which is, I feel like I've been preparing for this moment
Yeah,
because I
it's
can.
not optimal, but you're more used to it than
Right.
some of us. Yes.
Right. So I can go a quick 2 hours and prioritize like what tasks and who I need to talk with, and then come back during nap time when I potentially have another, my oldest sometimes doesn't nap. And so then and then once the kids go to bed, I might have a couple hours before my husband comes home late, and then trying to get up before. So it's the same things that I'm doing every day that I did before. It's just scrambled up.
So
So
your little chunks, it's like they were puzzle pieces. And
exactly.
you used to have more puzzle pieces on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And now you've had to rearrange that, like it's almost like, or like Tetris, like where you got to like
Exactly.
reconfigure, and it's always moving too. The Tetris, I think, is a really good analogy. You have all these things to fit in. You got to make them fit. Everything's moving and shifting, and you think you've got it handled, and then something else changes, and you just have to be agile with it, right?
Yep, absolutely. And just, I always come back to like giving yourself some grace, because like this morning, I started off a bit emotional because I've been up super late, and I'll go to bed by 11, before 11. I try to get in bed before 11, and I'm usually up anywhere between 4 and 5, depending on the day, before all this happened. And I had all this time before the kids, and then like everything was very rigid. Well, now I don't have that because I'm staying up even later. Like I was doing a Zoom call last night till after midnight for a California client. And so you just have to flow with it. So this morning I was on the couch with the kids when the husband come down with coffee, just to like, okay, let's do this. So I think it too, it's like, you can make or break your day. Let's be honest. Like if you're in a funk, like sometimes we just get in a funk. I mean, it's hard not to be, but I started reaching out to family. Hey, who can FaceTime me? I really need to get out of my head, because my husband had to go and get groceries this morning. So we were kind of on, lockdown. So my morning started a little bit later, and my son got to talk with his class on Zoom, which had me ugly crying because how bad he missed them. Like we don't realize it affects us, but those little humans, they get affected too. So I think now you're right. Like every day is different, but I still go back to, I make a list of those gratitudes that's happened in 24 hours. I write out my goals, which still feels kind of weird and uncomfortable because we don't know what's going to happen, but I still like, that's still what's going to roll. And then
that's a good point, but I think we need to recognize that we don't know what to expect and things are going to change, but you still have to have some sort of positive vision. Like realize just like your days aren't going to go as planned, your long-term plans aren't going to go as planned, but to still have some goal, you're going to change direction a little bit on the way, but you're still focused on that. I think that's what's going to help us get out of bed every morning, get through the whole day without, having a meltdown and like letting the anxiety take over and
like the fetal position in the corner.
Yesterday was not my day. I'm much better today.
Yeah. And it happens. It happens. Yeah. And that's where like having a GSD list, get that stuff done list, and still being able to, because that's kind of where I go when I need to get out of my funk. I throw some music on, I make a cup of coffee, and I make a list, and then I get busy.
Music helps.
Yeah.
I picked that up from you earlier this week. That's been helping me.
Yeah. We've been having
your energy up.
Yeah. Like every day I've been throwing out a Zoom link for our team. Just say, if you need FaceTime, I'm here for like 15 minutes max. I throw some music on, wait, everybody gets in. Some people can come, some people not, depending on where in the world they are and what's going to happen on the home front, but we still try to have that connection. And I think that's important.
I think I appreciate that you do that every day, that you're making yourself available. And I know that I can count on you're going to be around at some point, and that's one less person I have to hunt down, like somebody talk to me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great. So how is this then, and I have my own perceptions of this from my business, but how is this affecting not just how you run your days, but changes to the business itself? So we're lucky to be in a digital world where almost, nearly everything we do is done online, which is good for right now because that's where people are forced to be, like you said. But how is that changing marketing in general and like running a business, and especially with a lot of storefronts closing, like what's different in terms of how we're interacting with clients and what we're focusing on and how we're helping people?
That's a good question. Like my first initial thing that I'd want to say is it does feel heavy. It feels heavy for our clients because we're seeing clients that have storefronts or our coffee shops and like they close, and that's heavy. So I guess like in the initial, it's hard because we know that we can continue on and like work,
Right.
and that they're unable. So it's almost like, okay, we kind of hit pause as a team, and I think we have to reevaluate. Okay, this is our reality. How can we get creative? And
Right.
I think across the board, it's just a matter of, we're blessed with the World Wide Web. Let's be honest. Like the fact that we can do this, and teachers have the capabilities of having that online. I mean, this is not a new thing.
Right.
So, and I believe that whether you're a coffee shop or a coach or heating and cooling, like there's still activity that you can focus on online. And it does take it shifts the message, because people are like, oh, like I don't want to be so salesy because people don't have jobs and da da da. But a good friend of mine challenged me about how like you deserve your clients and the people that you help need you to be present and lead in that aspect. Not so much that she said it so much better, and I'm talking about Melissa for all you following along. But
I don't remember
Melissa,
exactly what I said.
I know, but you challenged me because I was like, oh, guys, let's not sell. Let's just send out a mass email and see how we can help. But Melissa got me thinking, it's like, no, like we're in this space for a reason. And we have the tools and the resources and the knowledge and experience to help our clients, and not just our clients, but really anybody that has a small business or trying to build their side hustle or want to launch something new. We have the tools, the key for them to do that. And that totally shifted it for me. It got out of the, oh, that feels icky, to like, heck no, like we're here to help. And that's been we're serving. And that has been, I just got chills. That has been our foundation since we launched this Biz Baby, is to help other people. So why wouldn't we walk into this? So,
and I think I've shared with you, I've noticed online that a lot of online entrepreneurs are having a similar message of like, this is our time to lead. People need us. This is a time to like maintain and even grow your business because you can help people. There's also, I've seen people who are like, oh, I don't want to market because it feels ugly, like everyone's losing their jobs. Well, you not making money doesn't help that. You know what I mean? Like it's not serving them to put yourself in the same boat. And to the extent that you can say maintain your own income, the more money you have, the more money you're going to have to help other people by buying their services. Like the more money, it's good for like the economy as a whole. So I think what I said to you was something along the lines of, I feel almost a responsibility to keep going as much as I possibly can, because the more money that's circulating, the better. And other people are forced to close. I am not. But then I also have seen there's a few online people I've seen that are a little bit too like rah about the opportunity. And it's just, I want to feel encouraged and inspired and do that for other people. But I don't want to say I'm excited about it. That's like pushing it a little bit too far. But I think showing up, leading, and being prepared to serve is a really great place for people to be if you have something to offer. Like I said, people are trying to grow their businesses, or they have a side hustle that now they want to grow that, and so they don't have to end up in this situation again.
Absolutely.
They don't have a website, or they need to improve their website. Like that's serving them, that's helping them grow now when it's really tricky, and then in the future.
Absolutely. And honestly, I think it's a challenge for everyone to assess what your business looks like right now.
Yep.
Because no one expected this, right? And so it threw a huge wrench in everyone's plans and everyone's business. But I think it is an opportunity to assess, okay, financially, what's your numbers look like, and how can you either reserve what you can now, but then build upon the future. So that way you have 3-6 months savings put back, or what debt do you have to handle? Or maybe, okay, like I now realize that these are the expenses that I have to cut, or how, if you had to do it over again, like how would you prepare for this? Or how would you set yourself up online to be able to continue on without having to close your doors completely? So I do think it's an opportunity that everybody just to hit pause and like, look at where you're at right now. And so when we come through this, because we will, like this is only a season, we will come through this.
This too shall pass.
Exactly. But once we do, how are we going to be different? Because I even know, like in the free time right now, and I haven't started it yet, but I took advantage of all of the software companies putting out their courses for free. Like I have downloaded and saved. I jumped on that for SEO.
Other people are stockpiling toilet paper. Jennifer is stockpiling knowledge.
Yeah, but it's true. It's like, I mean, what a better time to take advantage of this. And I know that sounds selfish, but no, the more that you can improve, the more you're going to help somebody else out. Right.
Yep.
So I see it as a challenge, and I know it's scary, and it is hard because even when I sit down, like write out things of like, okay, we're coming up on a new quarter here, and looking back at the last quarter and trying to plan ahead, it is a little tricky, but I think that we still need to forge ahead, right? We need to continue on, even in the scariness.
Yeah, but you're right. It's like your quarterly planning is going to look different, but I think knowing that helps though, because since you're not even sure what's going to happen tomorrow, but you still need to have, some sort of plan, like this is the target, this is what I'm moving towards, and if tomorrow I have to tweak this plan, that's fine. But I like what you said about pausing and assessing and asking, like I think we need to ask better questions, like, well, I'm stuck with this, but what can I do? And then I think you hit pause, but then you want to act quickly. Like you want to, focus, pick one or two things to focus on and run with it and see what works. Pivot when it doesn't, run with it. Double down on it when it does. So it's a time to think carefully, but act as quickly as you can.
Yeah, and that's because this is one of our, I wouldn't say our struggles, but even in our own space, like we'll have these great ideas, and it's like, oh. Yes. And that's our challenge right now, is how quickly can we get this content out that's relevant? And I think if we all look at how can you take your knowledge and your experience and push content out, because publishing content on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, y'all, it is free to do. So why you have a voice? And I think that, gosh, like, you just nailed it. It's like, how quickly can you take your information and put it out there? Because the great thing of it is it's not going anywhere. That footprint's still there.
Exactly.
So even through this, you're already building traction. You're already building awareness for your expertise, your knowledge, what you bring to the table, whether it's your business or as you as an individual.
Yeah. And so you're out there, and if you have something helpful, or if you have a good message to spread, everybody's doing the scroll right now, getting the updates and everything. Interrupt this COVID-19 crisis with, information that it could be actually helpful to you in other parts of your life.
Yeah. And let's be honest, like a positive, let's just drop this out, like any positive, non-scary, threatening news, COVID update would probably be good right now. It would interrupt those channels.
I'm all for being informed, but we need to. I was on a webinar earlier this week of a couple of guys with big marketing companies talking about what people could do now. And that one guy said the first thing he focused on was being positive. He said he doubled down on like the podcast that he's listening to, the reading that he's doing. He's just trying to like flood his brain with like good, smart, inspiring knowledge. And so, like I said, yes, be informed and know what's going on, but I
don't
like
live there.
Yes, don't camp out.
Right.
Yes, visit and leave.
Move on.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
So, do we have any other major topics to cover? I think we talked about what your normal life looked like before your pre-pandemic, and we've talked about how we've had to shift and be agile but still show up and, do our best to serve our audience and other people around us. Like I said, my husband's trying to set up his online classroom, and he's using tools that are different than the ones that I use, but I'm better at figuring them out because I'm online all day. So I've become his virtual world consultant, so it's like we're all pitching in and helping each other to make the things happen. And that's a good thing.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate this awesome idea to join me on the podcast. It's so excited. We need to bring everybody on. And I think how relevant it is too. So I feel like we've really checked the boxes with today. I feel really good about this.
As much as we were winging it, I think we did an outstanding job. I don't think we could have planned it this well.
I think you rock. So I appreciate you.
Right back at you, girl.
And
we do have a little love fest going on. Jennifer's literally my favorite person right now. So I'm sending you this hug since I can't give you a real one right now.
Okay, which my love language is touch. Yeah. So the struggle's real. I can't be hugging on anybody other than my little pod here. Little.
It's rough.
Yeah. And so in conclusion, thank you so much, Melissa. Definitely check out uplevelyourcontent.com. and follow along with Melissa on all the channels, Facebook, Instagram, and then definitely drop into her list because she will be rocking out that course. So if you are looking to find help on publishing a course, maybe you just need to assess your site or what your offering and message is. Melissa is your person. One thing that I appreciate about Melissa, she doesn't just do what I ask her.
I don't do as I'm told.
Right. She doesn't. We worked with it. No, but she'll take it and she looks the big picture. So if you are in the weeds, Melissa is a gift because she will help you overcome that. She'll look at the big picture, and she is versed on courses. She's gifted on breaking down what your offering is and chunking it out to something that somebody can actually take and apply. So check out uplevelyourcontent.com.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. And I'm going to throw out a bunch of resources. So rainydaydesign.com, we are producing content on our social channels. We are trying to promote our clients. I encourage you, if you're at a digital agency, take time to reach out to your clients and help promote them through your channels. So we're doing that the same. So definitely follow rainydaydesign.com. And then for anybody who has little humans at home, I'm really trying to also be relevant and help and put out any hacks or tips that I have from running the business, a team, and then working from home. So check out jennifersikowski.com. So a lot of resources to you. We can't wait to hear it. Let us know that if this is helpful. Take a screenshot, #RainyDayTalks, and we look forward to connect with you again. Melissa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day. Thank you. A huge thank you to Mark at Mark Levander Productions for sponsoring Season 1 of Rainy Day Talks podcast. I'm very particular who we partner with, and Mark was a no-brainer. Mark does all of our video editing and puts all of the components and pieces together for our YouTube channel and podcast. If you are looking to publish your own YouTube series, podcast, or need photography work, please contact Mark through marklevanderproductions.com.